Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Two-Way Miss podcast. Thank you, as always, for joining us wherever, whenever you might be listening and hopefully watching. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Reggs, and I am joined, as always, by the good buddy Banksy. Banksy, how's it going, bud?
It's going great. Good to be back.
You had an eventful week.
Woo, man, I was busy.
Some kind of important tournament happened up by you, and you were like hobnobbing with celebrities and
Well, you know,
meeting professional
somebody's
players,
gotta
and
do it.
somebody's got to
Yeah.
do it. Mr.
Yeah,
Living
so-
Large all of a sudden.
yeah. Make sure they have enough range balls and bottles
Listen,
of water.
it's important stuff.
Yeah, they had the women's U.S. Open at Lancaster Country Club, which is right in my backyard. I actually did not go at all.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just had a lot of stuff going on, and it just didn't fit the schedule. But I felt like I was there based on all the people that volunteer. They had thousands of volunteers. which
Yeah.
you have to pay for. You have to pay to be a volunteer, which
Yeah,
is
right. Pay for the
hilarious.
privilege.
Which is
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah.
Thank you so much for allowing me to stand in the sun and
Yeah,
pour drinks for people.
for 6-hour shifts.
Yeah, right.
Trying to control the crowds and keep the crosswalks clear.
No, please let me pay you, please. I
Yeah,
insist.
and then they're like, oh my gosh, they did such a good job. They fed us every day and had snacks. Like, yeah, you paid for it.
Yeah, you mean the food
So-
you paid for?
Yeah, but I guess it's all about the experience. I don't know. I don't know. It would be nothing
Yeah.
based on what people are saying. Like, it's nothing I would ever do. I
Yeah.
would go watch.
How about the USGA just pays for food for people who want to volunteer?
Yeah. How about that?
How about that? Pallet of water, wouldn't kill you. Not going to kill your bottom line.
The golf course was just in crazy good shape. There was not a single divot on the golf course leading up because it's been closed to the members since
Or they've been playing off
Forever-
mats
forever.
for 2
they've
years
been
or something.
Playing off mats since last October, and then they completely shut the course down. So the course was in absolutely pristine condition.
Yeah.
Played extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem with in a major. I actually would like the men's tournaments to go more in that direction, maybe for the majors. Like, I had no problem with the high scores. Other than I'm sure everybody's kind of seen or heard about the collapse of Nelly on that
Yeah.
first day. That was probably borderline unfair.
But look, if you were
Just
going to
that
bet
fifth
on
place
anybody, if you're going to bet on anybody figuring it out on a tough course, it was probably her. I don't think a lot of people saw her doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean the greens were incredibly fast.
Yeah.
That pin was a sucker pin.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would have played the shot differently. If anybody doesn't know, she took a 10 on a par
Yeah.
3.
Right.
But again, too, she could have got out of there with double or triple, but she
Opted
she
for
dumped
the hero shot, right?
3 in the
Yeah.
and then dumped 3 in the water from the drop zone.
Right.
So some of that could have been prevented, but yeah, the golf course was phenomenal shape. It played tough. Scores weren't crazy low, which I personally prefer. I don't need to see 20 under in a major because
Yeah.
then it's like watching every other golf tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, you
so,
saw
yeah.
the best player who had the skill set to play the best on a golf course like that win. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Yuka
And
Sasso could hit her stuff like crazy high, get it to stop a
yeah.
little bit. Like she had the tools, she had the shots.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough the week prior to the Open, a lot of the players, a handful of players, came out to Overlook and used our practice facilities, and we kind of accommodated them. We put them at the other end of the range. They had some privacy, um, which was just really neat because I would stay and watch them hit
Yeah.
some balls, and oh my gosh, it was just so. Even these are players you've never heard of, and they certainly weren't on the leaderboard this past week, but they're just so good.
They're just yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah.
The one girl put her coach out on the range about 60, 65 yards, and he took a range basket with him, and she was just hitting pitch shots, and he was catching them with a range basket. It was incredible. Um, so yeah, it's neat, women, men, whatever, to watch professionals hit golf balls.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's so different.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then got to meet Michael Collins. Does a lot of bits for ESPN. Super super nice guy.
Yeah.
He was fun to be around. Yeah, and Eric Lottery, who I wasn't familiar with, but I am now. He posts some pretty interesting.
He's got a lot of
pretty
followers
funny.
on like Instagram and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, posts some pretty funny and interesting content. So yeah, it was neat to be able to provide some access for those guys and get them out playing golf. They were all super nice and had a good time. So it was a cool week. Got to meet a lot of out of towners, people that came in for the Open and then came over and played our golf course. So um, yeah, it was a good week. It was busy, but it was good.
That's awesome, man. I mean, you were sending pictures and stuff, and it's cool. It's cool to like,
It,
you know,
yeah,
and like you said, if this opportunity doesn't come around, you're sitting in a classroom instead of meeting all these
oh
people. It's
god,
awesome.
oh god, no, it started to sweat. My palms just got sweaty.
I need you to find me a job, please. Can you just find me something? I'll come and help. I'll do whatever.
Come in, don't tease me.
Ah,
I'll figure it out
I'm
if I have to. I'll figure it out.
I'm very much not joking. That's awesome though. I know like the pictures were really cool. Obviously you're putting a bunch of stuff on Instagram. It's cool, man. That's so cool. Like it's really cool that it was right there, like you said, in the backyard.
Yeah.
And with you guys having that kind of space and that practice range and all that kind of stuff, it's neat that some people came over, and like you said, it's just cool to watch professionals do their thing. Like even
Yeah.
at the Masters, like it's cool just being on the range and just watching them on the range, and you're just like, God, they just hit shot
Yeah.
after shot after shot, and there's like no misses. There's not one
Right.
chunk or thin
Yeah.
or right, just like wipe. It's just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. It's impressive. It's really impressive.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm sure you guys were very busy and running people through that course. All right. What do we want to talk about first? Let's talk about Scottie. So the last time we talked, the video had come out. Another body cam video had come out of a different officer who was kind of questioning Scottie in the police car, came out. All of it not good for the Louisville Police Department. So finally, everyone kind of came to their senses, and all charges were dropped. With the caveat that no one takes any further legal action against anybody else. Obviously, them being afraid of Scottie suing them for
Yeah.
defamation, of character, all the things
you imagine?
that I'm sure a lawyer could think of.
Could you imagine if Scotty was like rolling up with his lawyers?
Mm-hmm.
They, yeah, I'm like you said. I'm glad they came to their senses. And the video that we did see, like, so ridiculous.
Yeah, apparently the guy hit him with his flashlight.
Oh yeah, the
Like,
guy looked like he looked ridiculous. He
yeah.
was freaking out.
And then, of course, that police officer comes out and doubles down on the fact that he was drugged by the car, that he did sustain injuries. And it's like, I'm not sure where the video, like, unless we see it, I'm not sure we're going to believe this guy.
Yeah. So what was that behind the bus or truck or whatever? It
Whatever,
happened
but like that guy never
behind.
was not on his feet.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
and if he did fall down, he was good enough to get up and
yeah,
run back after the car and start beating on the window
right.
like a psycho.
Yeah. So, look, it was a tough look. Obviously, that guy got put into a much brighter spotlight than he anticipated. And it came back to bite him pretty good. I think smartly, and hopefully, they did the right thing and dropped all the charges, because based on any evidence that was real, not just like this is what the cop said and this is what Scottie said, all the video evidence pointed to Scottie Scheffler not doing any of the things he was charged with.
Yeah. Maybe not needing to be walked out in handcuffs and taken
Yeah.
to jail.
Yeah. And apparently it came out again that another courtesy car had done that exact same thing, I think a mere minute or two before Scottie attempted to pull into the golf course.
Yeah, you got to figure there's more than just Scotty
Trying to get in there, yeah.
trying to get in there, right? And again, those guys had no idea that it was an active crime scene where
Right.
somebody was passed away. So these guys are so hyper focused on the task at hand. Like they're just like, yo, we need to get in. I need to start my routine.
Yeah, and this is the way that I've gone for a week. Like, this is what
Yeah.
they've allowed me to do.
Right. So yeah, June 3rd was going to be his arraignment, but yeah, I think it's best that Louisville PD puts this behind them.
Yes.
And Scotty moves on.
Yeah,
not
Scottie,
not worrying about it.
Not unlike we thought Scottie would do. He kept it very professional and released another statement, just being appreciative that the charges were dropped. Again, saying it was a misunderstanding. He holds no ill will towards the officer. He obviously talked about the man who lost his life. That's the important, what's important is his family and all those things. This, what you expect Scottie Scheffler to say after something like this.
I heard one thing where it's okay. What if it was Patrick Reed that happened to? Does anything different happen?
He's got a team of lawyers rolling up in PXG gear.
Yeah, which at this point I don't know. Like Patrick Reed's so out of the spotlight now.
Yeah, right.
Going to live, and I don't even know if anybody would.
Oh no, I just think Patrick Reed would take it as a personal affront, and then his wife would take it like somebody touched Jesus. You know what I mean? Like she'd be on TV next to the lawyer, being like, "You will burn in hell."
With his caddy trying to fight the cops.
Yep. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm glad we can put that to rest, and we can all move on from what ultimately is a fairly embarrassing situation for the police department.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think there wouldn't be a lot of people that don't agree with you on that one. So look, we'll move on and we'll talk about the tournament Scottie's playing in. So they're at Jack's tournament. They're at the Memorial this weekend. Obviously a signature event. So a lot of the goal of these things is to get all the top players. Most of the top players would go to Jack's tournament anyway. It was always just one of those places that everyone went to. So Scottie is there this week. What do we think? Do we think now that it's put to bed, like he snaps back into it? Or do we think there's any residual I don't know what.
No, he's good to go. He's ready. He's good to go. He's still, I still think he's in that mindset that he knows he's better than everybody else
Yeah.
right now. Um, yeah, and again, like he didn't win the PGA, but he didn't. He still finished pretty well.
He got a
So
top 10, didn't he?
yeah, right. So I just he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Um, and again, you have a signature event, you have an awesome golf course. You just hope that other these other guys show up, and we have a good tournament. Um, but yeah, Scotty's ready to go for sure.
I think I tend to agree. I just think if there's any guy who is just looking to like get back to normal and can kind of snap into it, you would think it's Scottie. I don't know. My only thought is that I almost hope I hope he does get back to it. Again, picking him to win is like crazy, but I just hope that he continues to build to it, because I don't know if no one picked against him in this championship, at the PGA. Like, if everything goes normal, Scottie Scheffler, there's a very good chance he wins that golf tournament.
Yeah.
Like, a very good chance. And obviously, with his caddy being away, the whole situation, everything came to a head on that Saturday. And it just is like, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be pissed. Like, they took away my chance for a grand slam. You know what I mean? Like a Tiger Slam. And I don't know if he's just more relieved and he can just play relaxed and get back to the way he was swinging. I guess either way, he's coming out and playing well.
Yeah.
I just hope he gets back to it, because everyone was so prepared for this to just be like, oh my God, he's got two of them. There's
Right.
only two left. There's a great chance that he can get them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just hope that he can come out and play well, especially with, the field being the way it is at these signature events.
So
Yeah.
what is the field? What are we looking at this week?
Yeah, let's go through. I'm looking at the field right now. I'm just gonna pick out the guys, that we actually care about. So, I mean, Keegan, Sam Burns, Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Jason Day, Ricky, Tommy Fleetwood, Matty Fitz, Tony Finau. Let's see here. Harmon, Homa, Horschel, Hovland, Sung Jae, Tom Kim, Kuchar, that's hilarious. Lowry. Big shot Bob McIntyre just won the Canadian Open. That boy. Hideki, Rory, Colin. Let's see here. Who else? Don't care. Justin Rose, Xander, Scottie, Spieth.
Thomas.
Yep. Sahith, JT, Cam Young, Will Zalatoris.
Yeah. What's wild is looking at all the players, all the big name players, the kind of we grew up with that are out there trying to qualify for next week. Like that's wild to me. Like these
Who was it?
guys,
Like Adam Scott, Sergio.
Adam Scott, Sergio is always trying to qualify. And there's other guys too, all names that we would recognize. It's just interesting.
It is crazy, isn't it?
Think like, oh man, like these guys have to go out, grind just to get in one of the majors, and they, have major wins, and you don't think about that aspect. It's like, well, yeah, shit. Like eventually, these guys are going to have.
It makes you feel really old, doesn't it?
qualify. It does.
Like looking
yeah.
at Adam Scott trying to qualify for a U.S.
Yeah,
Open, you're like,
out there
wait, what?
grinding for the
Yeah.
U.S. Open. Yeah,
You're like, wait, what? He doesn't just automatically get in because he's
right.
that good of a player?
Yeah, it's wild.
Because
Isn't
he's
it?
a top 5 player in the world? Like, nope, not anymore. And
I love the special invites that Tiger will get for the rest of his life.
Yeah, right.
To every major.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's other guys out there.
Yeah, you're not going to see Tiger out there grinding 36 holes in a day
At
at the
your
U.S. Open local yeah, at the local Juniper qualifier. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that out of the cat anytime soon. They'll they'll call it the Tiger exemption. They'll they'll just put it on every tournament. Just be like, it's Tiger, and then people will be like, fine, It's just like, I got no argument there. I mean, outside of Scottie, is there anybody you think can win this thing? Who do we think out of the big names?
Absolutely no idea.
I have no idea either. I don't know if Xander's going to play well or not.
I think it's just the level of mental focus you need to have after especially a guy like him, where he had blown so many leads and lost so many tournaments, and then to finally cap it off and win one. He's probably exhausted.
Yeah.
And then these other guys, you have no idea who's going to show up with what golf game.
I feel like Victor might have a shot here.
And that's great.
Found his game again. Got back with his old coach, like is feeling good.
Yeah, I'd love to see Victor up there.
I feel like it's a great golf course for him.
We're still in that tease of, what is Rory McIlroy going to do? Again, just that guy, so much talent, and just cannot win enough golf tournaments. Mm-hmm. And I know it was like, okay, he got off the PGA board. Now he can focus on golf. Well, now here he's getting divorced, and now it's like, dude, like, when you just need to play golf.
Yeah.
So I want to see him do well, because I like watching him play, but he just can't get the job done.
Yeah.
Finau's another guy. I lost so much confidence in him. I think I wish he would be better.
Yeah.
Than he is. And then like Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth.
It just, yeah.
They're not even worth talking about anymore.
I know, it's crazy.
I mean, they're terrible.
They're not that old either.
No, they're terrible.
They're not that old, and that's what is like that's what's so crazy about it.
Yeah, so who knows? You have no idea who's going to show up. I mean, Colin's coming off a good PGA. This is a good course maybe for him. It's another course where you gotta strike the ball well. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think those are probably your 3 best bets. If you're thinking Scottie, Victor, and Colin, all guys coming off of, I mean, outside of Scottie with obviously what happened, still the hottest golfer on the planet. Colin coming off, like you said, a good week. Victor kind of finding it again. Victor didn't win this, did he? Has he won the Memorial? Am I misremembering that?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up. But
Tiger's won it a few times.
Yeah, just a few.
Just a couple.
Just a few. Where is this? Somebody give me a list. Here we go. I'm finding it. This is good podcasting, but just bear with us, people.
I think he did. Did he win it? Was that last year? I think he did.
He did. Last year, he won the Memorial.
Yeah.
So there you go. The returning champion.
Back to back.
Look at us remembering that just off the top of our heads. Good for us. It's like we have a podcast about this or something. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's always a great tournament. It's a great field. It's a great course. I think it always plays tough. You know, guys got to hit shots. It's always a good watch, and especially leading into the U.S. Open just next week, which is crazy.
I know.
It's
Look
like-
at the schedule.
It's wild.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Another
So
major.
I know, literally, like, what's it been? 4 weeks, not even a month, something like that. So it's a good tournament to watch. It's a good field. The guys use this as, you know, they're getting ready for that U.S. Open at Pinehurst. It's going to be it should be awesome. That course is just, again, one of the best in the whole United States. So, and just tough as hell. It's just going to be crazy.
It better
how tough
be.
that golf course is going to be.
It better be. I want to see. That's good.
So, obviously, watch this weekend. We will be back next week to recap the Memorial. We will do our usual major preview. We will go through odds. We'll go through the golf course. We'll give you all the people who will win and won't win. And then, you, like I said, you can bet against us, as you always should. I'm still waiting for someone to send us like a picture of a bet ticket that just shows all the people we said wouldn't win, and they bet on them. They won a ton of money. So definitely make sure you let us know if, again, you'd have won a decent amount by this point. If you've been following us for a while, you would have made a nice little chunk of change, I feel like.
Made enough. They could sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be great. Again, if you know any people who are looking to sponsor a podcast, we are open for business, as they say. We're gonna get that guy Michael Collins to sponsor the podcast. That's what we're gonna do. Get
Here we go.
Get ESPN in here.
Yeah.
They don't talk about enough golf.
Yeah, we'll reach out. Maybe.
So to
Mike
say, you said
wants
you were
to-
gonna ask him to come on. Did you ask him?
Yeah. No, I didn't ask.
Damn it! Come on, man. Committed to the podcast.
We did talk a lot though. So
All right.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. We'll work on it.
You know me. I'm not a chaser.
I know it needed to be me there. I would have been asking him.
I let people come to me. I don't know.
I would have asked him straight up.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Great talking to you again. We will be back next week to recap the Memorial and preview the U.S. Open. Always great time to preview majors. It's our favorite time. Our favorite podcast to do are those previews and recaps of the majors. So it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you, as always, to everybody out there listening and hopefully watching. You can see us every podcast we put on YouTube. You can see our beautiful faces. Just search the Two-Way Miss Podcast or search Birdie and Beer Podcast Network on YouTube. Click that red button to subscribe. We are trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We are at 70, so we just need 30 more. It's not that many, people. It's not that many. It's free to click the button. Doesn't cost you a thing. So definitely click that. Follow us on social media at B&B Podcast on Instagram, at the Two-Way Miss on Twitter. You can follow that guy on Instagram at FairbanksC23 and also at Overlook Golf Course. You can follow me on Twitter at Big Regs with a Z. So thanks, everybody, as always, and we will catch you next week for a preview of the U.S. Open. Thanks, everybody.
Swing hard, everyone.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a